This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO of one of my favorite copper speculations in the space, Kutcho Copper, Mr. Vince Sorace. Vince, it's great to have you back on. It's been a bit. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and yes, it is great to be back on, Gerardo.
Let's get right into it because I want to provide listeners and readers a freebie today. And this is a heck of a speculation at current valuations. And I want to highlight that right off the bat before I get into why I think it's headed much higher. You have an after tax net present value of $831 million Canadian at slightly higher copper prices, right? 430-ish, 425-ish. If you want to play devil's advocate and you want to come down to $4 a pound copper, you have a $536 million market cap. Mind you, these are feasibility study numbers. This isn't a PEA. This isn't, on an inferred resource. This is a feasibility study metric that I'm providing here. And yet your market cap is where today, Vince?
Look, our market cap trading about about 30 million, I think.
Okay, so a big disconnect between 30 million and at the very least 536 million. You have low cost production. You have 1.1 billion pounds of copper equivalent. For those that want to be cynical and say, well, forget copper equivalent, Gerardo. How many pounds of copper does he have? 765 million pounds of copper make up that 1.1 billion pounds of copper equivalent. The grade is great, but here's the part where I get excited. As awesome as these numbers are, and as much value exists if you never find another pound of copper or zinc, this is the year where finally shareholders like myself will get to see a substantial exploration program to go and look for what we all think is there, more of these deposits. So let's get into what that's going to look like this year because I think it sets the table well.
Yeah, and listen, we've been really busy behind the scenes even last year. I mean, we didn't have a lot of news, but we were working, and you'll see the last couple of press releases we put out, and we've been identifying kind of all the additional opportunities to our feasibility study, which we've spoken about, and we've been working on, the potential even increase to the numbers you're talking about through reduction of development capital, looking at conversion of the existing inferred resources to make this better, extension of mine life. This project just offers still a lot of more improvements, even again to that feasibility study. But nevertheless, and to say that we're amidst going through a permitting regime and a positive construction decision, this is significantly de-risked today. But to your point on the exploration side, it's been tough the last couple of years with respect to allocation of capital and kind of getting what we wanted to get done here, feasibility, post-feasibility work. The focus now is going to be on exploration. And that's also something we've been doing over the past 2 to 3 months, looking at the best exploration techniques to quickly identify new targets, new zones. This is a VMS district, and people can do their own homework when VMS deposits are formed in these areas within this type of geology. There tends to be more, almost in every case. There tends to be more, and Kutcho is no different. We've got the right horizons, the right mineralization throughout our entire claim block, and so we're going to now be focusing on finding more deposits, making this project scalable and bigger. And we're ready to kick that off this year. It'll be an extensive geophysics program. That's important because geophysics is an amazing tool that can help, identify additional potential targets in this environment, and we're going to do it property-wide through all the multiple horizons that could facilitate additional discovery of lenses. So we're excited about that. That's our focus this year, to kind of drive that home and really exploit the potential that we always thought was there throughout our entire claims position and the project as a whole.
Let me tell you why I get excited outside of the exploration work that's going on this year. There hasn't been significant exploration on the property since 1990, and copper prices weren't flirting with $4 a pound back in 1990. The other thing that really gets me excited is what you mentioned. This is a VMS style project, and that always happens in clusters, right? It's very, very rare that you find just one or two of these things. And look, when I look at some of your slides on your corporate presentation, and I encourage everyone to go to that corporate presentation, and I look at the host rocks and how much of the land package is covered in those host rocks, right? And then I take a look at some of these other deposits and targets and the potential grades there and the potential strike. It's going to be really, really fun for me to watch the results come in. This was already a fantastic project with top-notch infrastructure, world-class partners, fantastic shareholders, great community relations. You've done a brilliant job behind the scenes of making sure that that is taken care of. But I have to admit, Vince, I was bored a bit the second half of last year waiting for this moment. So I am glad to hear that 2023 is a year of discovery drilling for Kutcho Copper. Can you add anything to that before I let you go?
I think that that sums it up. I think again, I guess two big points here. One, with what we have and call it the de-risked stage of this project, we are trading exceptionally cheap to our peers. We've got some good metrics about that in the presentation. As you said, people should take a look at. So there's, I believe, a massive value gap with respect to us and our peers right now as it stands. And the exploration potential, and we're going to go at it. I think with some positive results there, that could really tip the scale in our favor, and that's what we're hoping.
Really looking forward to it, Vince. When can we start expecting some of those geophysics results?
Most likely, kind of probably midsummer.
Excellent. So the work goes on between now and then we can start seeing those results. I encourage everybody to use the next several months to at the very least do some due diligence. And, for those of you that are looking for excellent de-risked copper exposure, Kutcho Copper, again, is one of the better speculations in the entire space right now. Vince, thank you so much for your time. We were overdue for a catch-up. Looking forward to chatting some more.
Pleasure. Thank you, Gerardo.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.